this presentation we look at using ARUtils head of the family to reorder parameters within our family files. So in this case I've got a family open, and if we go into the family types window, you can see that we've got a number of parameters here. They're not really alphabetical, they're just a bit all over the shop. Now, in later versions of Revit, you can pick a parameter and you can say move that up, or sort alphabetically. But doing that for hundreds of families is going to take you a lot of time, and being consistent if it's a strange order will take even longer. So the simplest operation that we can do is simply go into head of family. We'll have our add, rename, replace pars ticked, and we'll have sort ticked. So this will give us an alphabetical sort. So I'll just hit process current, and we can now just go to looking at our create family types again, and you'll see that all of those parameters are now listed alphabetically. So we can do that for one family, or we can do it for hundreds of families. Of course, for a lot of people, ordering things purely in an alphabetical way won't be good enough, and they'll want to have parameters appear in a specific list. So head of the family allows you to do that using the list sort option. So as a first step, what we need to do is actually list the parameters that are all in this file. So I'll just disable updating. I'll initialize so that any previous scans that we've done of families is cleared out. And I'll just say list family details, and we want nested families, and we want null values also reported. So we'll get more information put into that report file. So I'll just hit process current so that we get that report file generated. Okay, so we've got our processing log just saying that it's listed family information. We'll just hit done here. And what we can do now is re-enable updating. I like turning off all of the listing functions when I start to go into the update options. Otherwise it will process a family and list more information about it after we've updated. So step one, we need to generate a list of the parameters that are in that particular file. So I'll just hit used, and I'll say regenerate and edit data. So it's going to go off to our report file, find the parameters. If all I did was hit edit data and edit data in Excel, it would actually just open that file. So I'll hit regenerate and edit data. Okay, so at this point I have the choice once again of editing that newly created data using the ARUtils interface or using Excel. I'll use the ARUtils interface because it has some benefits, and what we can actually do here is say, alright, let's do a double sort. We'll sort first by parameter name, and you'll see that our parameter groups are all over the place here. I'll just make that a bit wider, and if I now hit parameter group, it'll still remember that alphabetical sort that it did on parameter names, and now all of the parameters will be done within their parameter groups, but still alphabetically here. So let's say we wanted to change our DRF values to the end of the constraints group. So what we can do is use a shift click and hold, and then drag it to the construction type point, and you'll see now that we've got all of our DRF values working at the end of the list of items. So we'll just say OK, and you'll notice now that we've got a red mark here on our control file button, and that's because our use data is now newer than our control file data. So what I need to do is just transfer those changes that I've made into my control file, and I've got the option of overwriting or appending. I'm going to use overwrite, but if I wanted to, I could append those changes, and we could wind up with a list of parameters in an order that would update specialty equipment, furniture, doors, windows, all at the same time. So I'll just hit overwrite, get a message saying that it's been copied. So we've now got our control file done and the order of parameters that we require set. We'll just make sure that we've got add, rename, replace parse ticked, and also that we've got list sort ticked. So if I now hit process current, we'll get our log information just explaining about what the order now is, and we'll say done. And as a final step, I'll go to look at those parameters, and you can see now that all of our DRF parameters appear after all the other constraint parameters. So you can see that it really is relatively simple to get exactly the specific order that you want for your parameters in families. Thank you very much, and good luck with ARUtils.